Right, we are kindly joined by our Canadian correspondent, Mike Orr. Good evening, Mike.
How's it going?
And regular panelist from the Northeast, that would be Raymondo.
You alright?
Yeah, I'm good, fellas. Good. So what we're going to run through this evening is the card that's just gone from Matchroom with Joshua Buatsi. And then no doubt we'll go into other areas of boxing like we always do, especially when Mike's on the show. So, Ray, do you want to kick us off with what your thoughts on Buatsi's performance?
Yeah, I thought it was a good performance, bearing in mind the level of opposition he was against. He looked quick, he looked sharp, he looked good in the exchanges. Buatsi, he came up better in the exchanges. He was nice and tidy in there. His footwork was good. He used the angles when he had to use those angles. But because of who he was in with, I can't say I learned much. In fact, I would say I learned more about him in his last fight against Equation than I did in this fight. The punch to end the fight was was coming. You could see it because the guy was so upright. You could just tell that, when he was dropping his left hand, he was going to take a right hand over the top or right uppercut. If he got in the crouch down by getting him with body shots. So he took it well. He stepped up the gears. Buatsi can do that. But it was.
He obviously came to win the other guy though, didn't he? Because he was distraught, wasn't he? After at the stoppage.
He was. Yeah, he was. There's difference between having the ambition before he set into the ring, getting hit, and retaining that ambition.
Yep.
I'm not too sure from the evidence that I saw in that fight that he had anything about him to trouble Buatsi. He caught Buatsi with I think one or two shots. He was long in there. He had a good reach on him. He caught him with a couple of rights. He had a jab that probably could have caused problems if he was more confident in it. But because he wasn't, Buatsi just took the fight out of him. It was clinical. It was a clinical finish from Buatsi. I think he got riled when the guy did a bit of a rugby tackle or an American football tackle, whatever you want to call it. But he kept his cool. He was calm.
I thought Victor Loughlin handled that really well.
Yeah, Victor Loughlin did. Yeah, he had a word with both of them.
Nipped in the bud.
Yeah, but it's out of the temperament of the fighters. He could have easily riled Buatsi and got Buatsi swinging and overly aggressive, but he was too cute for him. He was too cute. And but I guess for me is, the question for me is, well, what did I learn? And not much. The stuff that I saw, I've seen Buatsi do time and time again. He just needs to. They need to get him out of there. Is in like another fight, so they need to get him back out. I would have thought maybe July time, get him in there with another decent opponent, and then maybe November. Talking about who?
Craig Richards.
Yeah. I can't see why they can't put him in with somebody like a Craig Richards.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see him gone for the British route before you start going for these continental routes. But why can't you not put him in with a like I said on Thursday, the winner with Yard Arthur, a Jose Burton, Craig Richards. These are the type of guys you should be in with.
Sexy division in the UK, isn't it, Ray? Sexy division.
I've always said that this. If I came up with a question on these Facebook groups, and I've said, if the World Series of Boxing was going to do another 3 divisions, which one would it be? And people have said, oh, lightweight and what have you. But for me, light heavy. There's so much talent there, and they can all punch. It's really, really exciting for me. I'm really, really excited about the light heavyweight division, and it's probably our best. Well, apart from the heavyweights, obviously, our second best division, I would say, because we don't have any world champions there, but we've got a lot of potential in the light heavyweight division for us.
Let's bring Michael in then, because if we leave him much longer, he's going to be slurring with the amount of beer that he's putting away. So, Mike, over to you, fella. What was your take on the Buatsi fight from a North American perspective? How far do you think this kid can go?
Honestly, once Dos Santos felt that body shot that dropped him there very early, he started running. Man, I think he was just afraid of the power that Buatsi has. And you know what? It didn't really do Buatsi any justice, though, because it showed him to be kind of like a one-dimensional fighter. We didn't really get to see his true game, like, from his last fight. What a devastating knockout, though. Kid definitely has some knockout power in those hands, man. And you could tell when he dropped him with that shot to the body that barely even hit him. The guy's just got mad power. I expected him to finish. Dos Santos is his first time fighting out of France, right? Like his first time off soil, right? So I kind of expected him to not really perform well. He looked good coming out. He was using his reach to his advantage, but again, man, he just coming in with that chin held high, and he left it exposed after that body shot. I think that's what really did it. The body shot that dropped him caused him to keep his hands down to get caught with that shot anyway. But yeah, you know what a brilliant performance from Buatsi, and I can't wait to see him again this year. I think he needs to get back in the ring as fast as he can.
Well, he's been with Virgil Hunter for 8 weeks. So I think that's too soon to start seeing any influence from Virgil Hunter in my view. 8 weeks isn't long. But it's interesting because he was talking about training both in the UK and in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
And Virgil Hunter is well known for wanting his fighters over in the Bay Area living with him, even when they're not preparing for a fight. So I think there may be potential issues there.
Yeah, there might be.
I think, Buatsi's got to do one better than what Amir Khan did. There's this sort of the problem Amir Khan had was he only trained hard when he was in camp. When he was out of camp, he was back in Bolton and he just walked around just doing his media stuff. I think if Joshua Buatsi's serious, he should be living stateside and then only coming back here for his fights. This idea of doing the camps out in America, but then training with Mark Gillespie over here in the meantime, it'll end up being a conflict of interest. And we had this conversation when we spoke to Wayne Alcock. It can be difficult. So for me, the whole point of having a trainer with Virgil Hunter, who's a very esteemed trainer, Mike, you'll know, he's probably one of the best about, and he's definitely one of the best defensively, if not the best defensively.
It's very much do it my way or don't, or forget it, isn't it? You like things done his way. Yeah,
you can't blame him.
In terms of geographics, I'm talking about, he's not a big fan of fighters being halfway around the world, for certain parts of the camp. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Very interesting.
Definitely.
Yeah. I've just seen a comment there in the side there, lads. My good friend Imran Mohammed says, "Evening, lads. There's one word for that punch, sparkle." Well, absolutely true there, Imran.
He folded him like a lawn chair, man.
I think it's about time Imran jumped on camera, innit?
Yeah. We like to have him on. I think he's got to run in the morning. He's telling us he's got a marathon, a 5K run, so you might not get the opportunity to jump on. But that was definitely a sparkle punch.
Thanks for joining in, man. Much appreciated. So the next fight we're going to review is Lavone Richards. Now, I'll kick off with this one, guys. Mike, I know off camera you got a few concerns about the kid's power.
Yeah.
But I think when he stops moving around so much and actually sits down on his punches, and he will display a bit more power. Will he be a concussive puncher? Probably not, but I think he's got enough to stop anyone walking through him, and that's enough if you're a boxer. So I think this kid's very, very promising. He's got Dave Caldwell, who knows his stuff. I think they've got to start moving him through the levels. He looked really accomplished tonight. I know the Italian was a little bit older and at the tail end of his career, but it was no mug that he was in with tonight, and he played with him. He played with him. So I think maybe keep away from Canelo for a little bit, to be honest.
I think so.
But if he times it right, I definitely think this kid could pick a strap up. So we'll go to you next, Mike. What were your thoughts?
Honestly, I liked him. I thought he was great. The punching power, man. He's just you know, he doesn't have it. You know, he doesn't have that finish.
Yeah, we know you like your knockout artist, don't you, Mikey boy?
You know it, brother. You know it.
But I mean, where do you like to see him go, Mike? I mean, after a performance like that, what would you like to see next for him?
Honestly, I think he needs to start climbing ranks, man. That's it. Like 100%. He needs to get better people in front of him. That's what I think.
Rocky
I
Fielding
don't know who's available right now.
It was a great shot, wasn't it? Rocky Fielding was a great shot.
Yeah, if Rocky Fielding, if Rocky Fielding take that fight, I mean, for me, I would also like to see him possibly against that Frank Warren kid, Zach Parker.
Yeah.
Because obviously if he's so highly ranked in the WBO, that boy's been calling out Canelo. Why not put him in with a proper test against Lavone Richards? I favour Richards in that fight, but that's the type of names I want to see him against.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Those are some good choices. Actually, that'd be a nice place to see him to go. You know what? Honestly, he did impress me with his performance. Like the guy does know how to put combos together. You know, he knows how to play the angles very, very well. Just, you know, he's not really a finisher. You know what I mean? He just doesn't have that finishing style, I guess it is. He goes more for the points, plays with his opponents, breaks down their game. They break down mentally, but you know, he just doesn't have that power yet to finish him. I don't know. Like he's a young kid too, isn't he? So maybe
I think he's about 28 or something like that. So, you know, but I think one of the big problems for him is inactivity.
Yeah.
You know, I think he's been one of these kids that's been fighting once a year for quite a bit. But yeah, I like him. You know, I've always said he's got a nice style. And in Dave Caldwell, like what Carl was saying, he's got one of the best coaches to bring that out of him.
Definitely.
Yeah, I hear what Carl's saying though. I think because of his footwork, because of his jab, I think he has got enough to the point where it's going to be very, very difficult for somebody just to bulldoze through them unless it's like a top level kid. But for somebody with his style and his height, he's damn good on the inside. I think if he plants his feet on the inside, I think he could get some stoppages. Yeah, I think he can get some. I think he could, because I think he can get some people with body shots. Because he's really good on the inside for somebody so tall and so like elusive. Usually they're not too good on the inside, but he was really good.
Yeah, he felt, you know, and I noticed that he didn't shy away from it. You know, he hit it right on, man. He was not afraid to hit on the inside, you know, which means he's not afraid to get hit. And that's what makes good fighters. You know, you can't get in there, dance around because you're afraid to get hit. You got to get in there and dance around, and then, you know, get on that inside, feed those punches to the body, and he does it well. And he's pretty impressive tonight. I did enjoy it, but after the Cunningham fight, it was a bit of a snoozer for me, to be honest. I found it was a little dull after the Cunningham fight. Like,
well, let's go on to let's go on to the Cunningham fight then. Oh, that's a great intro. So, give us your thoughts about that fight then.
Well, Cunningham didn't get a full camp in, and honestly, man, he showed a lot of heart. He put together his punches really well. He was very elusive. His defense was on par tonight. And, you know, he dropped him 3 times inside of 6 rounds. And, you know, after the first drop in the second round, split his eye open. You know, that had to be for I can't. How do you pronounce his name again? Yafai or
Yafai.
Yeah. So he just, after that first drop in the second, you could see he was almost defeated. You know what I mean? His attitude, it was almost like he already lost himself mentally.
Yeah, he was deflated.
He was deflated, and you know, he became flat-footed right from there. And then it just became the chase game. And Cunningham, you know, you could see Cunningham was starting to gas in the end. Yes, because, you know, he didn't get that full camp in, but you know, his heart and his perseverance really showed, man, and he came through, and you know, he knew he had that in the bag. There was I believe it was the 8th round. He started coming back, you know, got a few good shots in, goes back into the corner. Cunningham's corner is telling him, like, what are you doing, man? Wake up, stay focused. He came back out, and it was like he was a fresh fighter again. And for the next 3 rounds, he put a clinic on, man, and just wouldn't let him he wouldn't get hit, and he just kept dishing punches out, man, and well placed. And I believe there was just he had no answer for that left hand, man. There was a nice one there where he dropped him with the uppercut hook combo. Right, he came in with that hook, bashed his head up, hit him with that. Yeah. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful combination, man. And he showed Cunningham surprised me tonight, man. He looked very, very on point. He looked like we're gonna see a lot of good things out of him in the future, is what that showed me.
Right?
Definitely the fight of the night.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. I mean, for me, I remember saying, and when we did our Thursday shows, that this would be the fight of the night, and I weren't disappointed. Like, I was disappointed in Yafai's performance. I expected a bit more from him. I was saying on the show on Thursday that I felt in his previous fight he had learned from his defeat to Gavin McDonnell, but on that performance, you wouldn't have thought so. He just looked as though he was very similar to what he was against Gavin McDonnell. He was just hunting the head. He just thought, I can walk through this guy. I'll just hunt him down. And he was following him around the ring. And that's what I hate seeing. He was following him around the ring, plod footing, heavy foot. And he was missing wildly with big shots. Yeah. From the off, Jason Cunningham was just boxing him beautifully with from that southpaw stance, that jab, and then hitting him with the left, stunning him, and then moving off to his right, moving off to his left. He was very unpredictable in how he was moving.
Definitely. And he's a tall guy. He's a tall guy, and for him to be able to, duck under some of those wild punches was very impressive. Honestly, all he was doing, he was going for body shots, man. He was trying for crushing blows because, he has more power than Cunningham. Cunningham felt that. You could see it in some of those rounds there where Cunningham took a few shots to the midsection and, he cringed because it hurt. And, he was beaten on his midsection, but, his game plan was gone once he got dropped and got that cut over his eye. He became a one-dimensional fighter, and it was, I'm going to chase you and try and knock your head off, and that's all that match became. And Cunningham displayed brilliant skill and self-control.
But then as I was still saying there, but the thing with Cunningham is what I liked about his performances, he always kept his cool. He didn't rush in, but even when he dropped him, he didn't go in for the kill. He kept it nice and calm, kept it nice and long. And I've got really that. There was a point in round 7 when Yafai really started to turn it up, started getting one of those body shots.
I believe he won that.
You could see Cunningham wins, but Cunningham again, he just got on his bike. He looked fresh. He looked really, really fresh. But I was surprised at just how badly Yafai was missing. To the point where and for somebody who can't punch is what people say about Cunningham. He was hitting Yafai. The 3 shots I put him down were heavy shots. Yeah. The 3rd one, I thought knocked him out until he got back up and he looked, these were really heavy shots, and I worry about Gamal Yafai. I worry about him because he was getting found out like this now. I don't think he can go much further. And I'm not just saying that as an after-timer because I thought he would do well, but it's the shots that he was getting caught with and getting knocked down with by someone who's a supposed non-puncher. I'm starting to really doubt, how far he can go in this game. Yeah, it's a brutal sport.
After that performance, man, I don't know where he's going to go next. But Cunningham, though, very impressive victory. And I can't wait to see him back in the ring and see what we have still yet to see what he's going to have. Like he's just going to get better, and that was a very impressive win.
Yeah, Mike, in the UK, guess who's in the studio doing some punditry work? Have a guess. Ooh. Natasha Jonas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Friend of the show, I might add. Natasha Jonas. Yeah. I just thought I'd let you know, nice. Mike. Just to let me realize who we rub shoulders with. So, So, so what we'll do now is move on to next week, and let's have a quick review of Josh Taylor versus Ramirez, because this is a great fight. Absolutely great fight.
I think this
how do you see it going, Mike?
Honestly, I think this is the first time Ramirez is the underdog, isn't it? I believe so. The way the betting odds have it, I believe Ramirez is he was a favorite, but I believe it's switched the other way. Honestly, I can't wait to see this fight. I think it's going to be great. Like Ramirez is 26-0, 17 knockouts. You know, he's been the world champion since March 2018. Honestly, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think it's going to be great. Taylor, 17-0, 13 knockouts, fought as a lightweight, and Olympic, 2012 London Olympics.
Where's it being broadcasted in Canada, Mike? What stations picked it up?
You know what? I think it's Top Rank, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be on ESPN Plus or something like that.
In the UK, we're amazed that it's not on Sky Sports, it's not on BT Sports, it's on Fight TV over here.
It's really, eh? So I guess Fight TV must have a deal with ESPN and Top Rank then.
Well, it's quite interesting. I'll touch on this later. The fact that Sky Sports have just announced they've got Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather, but they've not got Josh Taylor in the unification fight.
See, that's stupid. That's dumb. That's I don't know, man. But Sky Sports also did the first Logan Paul fight, didn't they?
Yeah, KSI and
KSI and Logan Paul. So I guess they got a deal going there. But honestly, Ramirez Taylor. Honestly, I like both these guys, man. I think both these guys are awesome fighters, epic boxers. I think honestly for this match, you couldn't put two better guys together.
Come on, though, Mike. You know how we go. No sitting on this fence.
Honestly, Taylor.
Yeah. Ray?
I'm calling for Taylor.
I agree. I think it's a great fight. I think it's a really good. I think it's a terrific fight. I've always been impressed with Josh Taylor, even as an amateur.
Yeah, me too.
He's turned over and he's looked wonderful. Let's be honest about it. I think Ramirez, when I've looked at his performances, particularly the one against Morris Hooker, he looked class. He looked real class. He looked class again against Postel. He's beaten another lad who's fighting on the undercard who I rate as well. Jose's Zepeda or Zepeda.
Yeah, Zepeda.
Zepeda. He's so really you got two young, hungry lions who were beating everyone before them. And you got to remember Taylor's win against Regis Prograis is still an outstanding win because Prograis is still an outstanding fighter. And this is the thing about these two kids. They're beating outstanding fighters.
Yeah.
So the guy who wins this fight clearly, the deserved undisputed champ. I've got a feeling it's going to be Josh Taylor. I think Josh Taylor will. He's got something else. He's got another level that he can get to, and I think that proved right on that night.
Ray, you know I'm Shane McGuigan's biggest fan, don't you? Why do you think why do you think he come away from Shane McGuigan in March last year and went with Ben Davison? What do you put that down?
That'll probably. I don't know whether that's to do with the bigger picture with leaving his dad, Barry, and then seeking pastures new. So if you leave his dad, inevitably you're going to leave Shane. You what? Leaving
Cyclone Promotions.
Yeah. Leaving Barry, leaving that organization, Cyclone, and then going. It then becomes, rendered impossible to then stay along with Shane. Shane's not a bad coach. I don't think there's much between Shane and Ben. They're very, very similar. Because when you look at Ben still works. I mean, each coach has got their own strength. They've got the points that they do really, really well. Ben's really, really good with his angles, combination punches. Shane's good at those, and Shane gets it in good shape.
What do you make of Ben Davison coming out with certain comments regarding letting Billy Joe fight on last week, which Mark Tibbs obviously has given different opinions on, which has resulted in a couple of videos being pulled down from IFL, I understand, at Mark Tibbs' request. So,
right. Go on, you were going to say something there.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering whether there seems to be some discrepancy somewhere, don't there, regarding what was actually said in that corner last week.
Yeah, but I've said on one of the shows before, that's the problem when you've got two effectively head honchos in the same corner, you know. And this is my worry for people that do that. Which Fury got away with it when he had Ben Davison and then Freddie Roach, and then Dillian White just about got away with it when he had, when he had the guy from America, Lennox Lewis's coach, and then he's obviously got, he's obviously got Xavier Miller, and that's the problem because they've got different views. For me, Billy Joe was in no fit state to come out for the next round. He would have got seriously damaged anyway. So I think it was the right call to pull him out. All this talk that we could have let him out for the next round, it's a load of rubbish.
I think Mark Tibbs saved his career that night.
Yeah. Of course he did, and that could be down to that could be down to the inexperience of Ben Davison. Because Ben Davison really, it was Tyson Fury that catapulted him to where he was. Yeah. If it wasn't for Tyson Fury, would we even know? You would have to do it the long way, the same way that our good friend Carl Greaves did. So Ben Davison's probably lucky enough to get where he is. At least with Shane McGuigan, he's trained people from the start. He can say, "Well, I trained Frampton from scratch." Davison can't talk like that yet. So Ben Davison needs to be a little bit careful, in my opinion. He's a good coach, but that's what it is. Good. He's not great yet.
Yeah.
I would suggest Carl Greaves is quite happy tonight. If you look on his Twitter, I won't say what he's put on there. We just look at his Twitter. He's not done bad tonight. So my view on Josh Taylor, what a fighter. I'm a big fan of his. So is Andy as well, isn't he, Ray? But this Ramirez is no joke, is it? Is a real deal as well. So but Taylor knows no other way than going toe to toe with you and having a war. His eye told you that in the Super Series, didn't it? He loves it. So I think this is going to be potential fight of the year. This one for me.
I think so.
But I'm still going to go with my boy Josh Taylor. I think he wins this. I think he might. I'll go out on a limb and say I think he'll stop Ramirez. I think he'll break his heart because he's a tough mother, So
he's for somebody so slight. He really is a hard man.
He is.
He doesn't look like much, but then again, neither does Ramirez. Ramirez just looks like a rag of bones. Yeah. But these guys are different. And I'm hoping because there's a lot of talk of Teofimo Lopez. If and when he beats Cambosis Jr., he wants to fight the winner. But I've got a sneaky feeling the winner. He's been talking too much. I like Teo, I do, but he's been talking too much since he got that win. He needs to fight and then talk afterwards. Yeah. But he's talking like he wants to fight the winner. But I think the winner of Taylor Ramirez will just move up to 47.
Yeah.
Because what else is there? When you're undisputed, what else is there to do?
Exactly. Move up. Move up or move down. That's it. Well, once you got it, that's all you can do.
I noticed there's a card in Canada tonight, isn't there? Is it Clegg versus Jermaine or something? I've noticed.
Yeah, I don't think it's televised though. That's a problem.
Right. Okay.
It's unfortunate, but I'm sure we'll get some. We'll definitely get some video. It should be. It's supposed to be a really good card. I don't know why it's not. I might be able to find some sort of streaming for it, but yeah, unfortunate. Did you happen to see the fight last night? Our girl fought Jessica Camara.
Oh no.
I didn't see it,
Yeah.
Mike.
She came out with the unanimous decision.
Good stuff.
Yeah, unanimous decision. What's next for her? Her opponent, last person she fought was Amanda Serrano. So I guess Jessica Ramirez looking.
I noticed Serrano had been posting quite a bit on Twitter, hasn't she?
She does all the time. All the time. She's always on there.
Yeah.
She's an active tweeter.
Yeah. And then go on, Mike.
No, that's okay, go.
So the next topic I'd like to talk about, and you'll see why in a minute, Mike, there's a Canadian essence to this, is Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul. So obviously we've got it's pay-per-view over here in the UK, Mike. I don't think it'll do big numbers. I'm assuming it'll be pay-per-view in Canada.
Yeah.
And what will that come in at, Mike, for you guys over in Canada, roughly?
It's probably going to be about $60-$70.
Whoa.
Probably. Yeah. Mayweather commands the dollars.
Oh.
Mayweather
Who's going to part with that hard-earned cash though, Mike, man?
To watch such a shit. It's going to be shit.
Yeah.
You know what? I give it to Logan Paul, though. He's gone through a transformation. He's really taken this serious since that whole extension saying, Floyd was not ready to get in the ring. I don't give a shit who you are, man. Floyd Mayweather is always ready to get in the ring. He's never not been ready to get in the ring. All this was to give Logan Paul a chance to tune himself up, get in better shape, so it doesn't look like a shit show, so that people think that they've spent their money wisely. That's what I believe it is. But I give it to Logan Paul, man. He is not the same guy he was last year. You look at him, his training, his body, his physique. He's learning on the go. But he's fighting boxers. That's the thing.
Has he been sparring with Jean Pascal?
Pardon me?
Has he been sparring with Jean Pascal?
Yeah.
What? Well, talking about Jean Pascal, he's actually on the undercard versus Badu Jack, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jared Hurd's on the undercard as well, Greg.
Oh, I can't wait to see Badu Jack next card, man. That's gonna be good.
Who have you got in that fight?
I gotta stick with my boy, man, Badu. I like him. I think he's a great fighter. I think he's got great hands, great speed, and I think he's not the greatest, but he's all around. He's an all around fighter. He's got a good package, and that wins fights, man, and makes for exciting fights, and I can't wait to see that. That's going to be good. But this Floyd Mayweather thing, it's what we're going to see. It's literally going to be an undercard full of Team Money's fighters. It's going to be a display of the fighters that are coming out under Mayweather's, camp. And you know what? He's producing some great fighters. So that's what I'm watching that card for. To watch that card, I'm watching for the up and comers to see what's coming,
Yeah.
But you know what, Logan Paul, if he stands in there and goes more than a round, I'll be impressed. It's not going to be I don't think it's going to be a devastating shit show like, a one punch knockout kind of thing. I think, he'll take a beating from Mayweather, and I think Mayweather will, lay it on him, and hopefully he doesn't get knocked out, man, because that would be a nasty blemish on Mayweather's record, eh? Hey, you're 50-0, but you let a YouTuber knock you out. That'd be kind of bad. But I'll tell you, man, Logan Paul has literally transformed. Like, if you see him from last year till now, the physique, whoever he's got in that corner, man, and whoever's training him, they are running him through the right training programs, and he's shredded up now, and he's starting to look like an actual boxer. He's doing what his brother can't do. His brother can't get into the ring with boxers. He's getting into the ring with boxers. Was it smart to call out Floyd Mayweather? Probably not. That's not the greatest, but hey, man, you want to make a name for yourself. You want to make
it makes sense. It makes sense for that, though, don't it?
Yeah, like what Roger Mayweather used to say: if it makes money, it makes sense.
Of course. And you know what? I'll tell you, Logan Paul, he's probably getting more than Jake did for knocking out Ben Askren.
Yeah.
Because Mayweather don't fight for anything under $50 million. Like, let's be real. What did he make off his last one? 100.
Mate, I don't know if you've been on our channel recently, but on Thursday night we interviewed a guy called Gareth Morris, who's an ex-British Boxing Board of Control referee. Now he actually refereed KSI versus Paul, the first bout in Manchester.
Okay.
And he gives some great insight into all around the, let's call it a circus, shall we? He gives a lot of insight around the circus, so it's worth a view.
I'll definitely check it out. It is a circus. We know that. The last Triller event was a concert with some fighting as the intermission, and realistically, it's the only thing that brings in this youth these days. Is it doing good things? Yeah, maybe. Is it doing shitty things? Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
but
we've covered it before. We've covered it before. My concern is for the image of boxing. People who view Logan Paul, do they stay around to watch? Let's call it normal boxing. Do they stay around? I don't know. And B, what happens when one of these YouTubers get badly hurt? What happens to the image of boxing?
Right. Well, then you know what? Honestly, we got to think of this. It's all going to come down to who's reffing the event, right? Nobody should get seriously hurt in a boxing match if the reffing is good and the corner knows what they're doing. People can get hurt. Look at Billy Joe Saunders. Yeah. Could he got really hurt? Hell yeah, man. If they would have let him walk out there and didn't say, hey, he can't continue, that next uppercut or that next hook to that cheek.
Yeah.
Brain damage. You're looking at brain damage there, man. It's already broken the cheek. It's already broken the bone. The next thing is, on the inside. Good reffing, good coaching, good trainers. That's what's going to stop people from getting hurt.
Yeah,
these YouTuber guys, it's they're not fighting real boxers, man. Let's be real. They're not. They're fighting guys who just got into the sport. It's literally watching pro amateurs. That's what you're watching. Wild swinging, fast rounds, and just balls to the wall, swing for it all.
Yeah, we've got to say in the UK though, you don't play boxing.
No, you don't play boxing at all, man. Play boxing, get knocked out. That's how that works.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm kind of intrigued. I want to see what Logan Paul is going to bring to the ring, because he's really taking this serious, man. I'm impressed that he's stepping it up and fighting actual boxers instead of making it a circus and fighting on these concerts and all this kind of crap. We're talking like this is going to be a real boxing production. We're talking Floyd Mayweather. He's not a circus man. This man is a highly decorated champion. He's not trying to be a circus man. He's a fighter. So I believe this event is going to be exactly what a boxing match should be, man. It's going to be great fights, good entertainment, and worth the dollars. And everybody's going to tune in because they want to see what Logan Paul is going to be able to bring to the table, because he is training hard now.
And we want to see what Mayweather's got left in the tank.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you know what? Look, Oscar De La Hoya is talking about fighting in July, isn't it? Or June or July. So, that's – we want to see what these guys have at this age. Are we going to get in there? Like, is Mayweather going to get in there and he's going to, perform like, the Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr.? Is it going to be like a heavy sparring match? No. I think Mayweather still has a bit in the tank, and I think, Logan Paul is going to test him because he's really taking this serious. I believe Logan Paul is a bigger guy too. He's a much bigger, I think. I don't even know what weight they're fighting at right now. Like, I think, he's got a few inches on him. He's got a longer reach. It's going to be an interesting match.
It's not unique to Mayweather, though, is it? It's not like he's not fought anyone in the past who's bigger and got a bigger reach with much more of a skill set.
Yeah, yeah. Like he's a veteran. You put him in there with somebody. It's going to take him a round or two to figure out the timing, figure out what they're thinking, figure out the game plan, and then he just uses his skill, his ability, to get on the inside, walk around those punches. Use that wonderful defense that we know and love that he has. And you know what? He's gonna dish out the pain. He's gonna dish out the punishment, and he's gonna show Logan Paul like, yo, this is serious stuff. Stop. This ain't a joke. Exactly like you guys say. We don't play boxing. Mayweather is going to show Logan Paul, you don't play boxing. You want to box, you take it serious.
What do you reckon, Ray? Are you going to be having this fight through intrigue?
Say that again?
Are you going to be ordering this fight because you're intrigued?
No, won't be.
Don't worry, I'll show you where to stream it for free.
Yeah, you can give me that, yeah.
On this channel, Mike.
It's a shame because was such a big Floyd Mayweather fan when he was active, and to see him take. I mean, he fought the Japanese guy, didn't he?
That was a shambles, wasn't it?
Well, it's always been, and then obviously you had McGregor, the Japanese guy, and now you've got this guy. And I think that's what Mayweather's doing, whether it's to keep himself relevant or whether it's to keep the money afloat in his bank. He fight because he's seen as easy money because as we've got a comment in the chat about the technique of these guys, Jake Paul saying he was swinging against Ben Askren. He said he saw proper boxing technique. Oof. Well, I didn't see proper boxing technique from Jake Paul. Ben Askren.
The fight wasn't long enough.
Yeah, there's that. And
quick enough.
Ben Askren wasn't showing anything. Proper boxing technique is on all forms. It's offense as well as defense. And if there's nothing being thrown at him, how can we say he's got proper boxing technique? Just because he threw a shot with the correct technique doesn't necessarily mean he's got that right technique. Because Ben for me was there to be hit. So this is a completely different challenge because you're up against the master of the art, the mundane master of the art, and Floyd Mayweather. And Floyd Mayweather, my worry is Floyd Mayweather does what he did against McGregor, where he could have finished it early, but he wanted to prolong it, just like Mike's saying. He wanted to get the money's worth for the fans. If I was him, if I had Floyd Mayweather's ability, I'd be looking to finish it within two or three rounds, and not taking it to 10 rounds. But let's see what happens.
Here's the thing. Logan Paul never been 10 rounds. I don't think he's got the stamina to do it. I don't care how much you train. Ring experience says it all. You can train stamina all day long, but until you're in there taking body shots, taking headshots, you don't know your true stamina. And I mean, not sitting in the sparring ring and sparring people because you know what? You're not full tilt. You're trying to stay protected. You get in that ring, you start having a guy standing on the other side who's trying to take your head off and trying to injure you to try and put you to sleep. That's where you'll know where you have the stamina. I believe what's going to happen, Mayweather is going to dance around him, find out the reach, find out the timing, and then he's going to come in and just end it, is what it should be. And you know what? And he's not going to toy. I don't think he's going to toy around with him because of that McGregor fight, because he caught so much flack.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's just going to come in, and you know what? I think it's going because Logan Paul is he's got the height, he's got the reach. You know what? Mayweather hasn't been in the ring since last year, sometime around this time. It might take him a little longer than usual to get down the timing and get down that reach. But once he does, he's gonna make it quick, man. He's gonna put him to rest.
But Mayweather's used to having long periods outside the ring.
Yeah.
It's true. Honestly, and Mayweather is gonna bring it to Logan Paul because he's pissed off at Jake Paul, and he's gonna make his brother pay for it.
Don't you think that's a pantomime, though, Mike? Don't you think that was all pantomime the other day?
Of course it was.
Yeah,
of course it was, man. It's all to make money, man. That's all it is. It's to build up the hype. You know what I mean? Now Logan Paul's got his own clothing wear that says "Gotcha" hat.
Yeah,
got it tattooed on him. Like, get the hell out of here, man. It's ridiculous. It's all a publicity stunt. It's all to make more money. These guys are in it to just make a quick buck and get the hell out, But Logan Paul doesn't seem to be doing the same. He seems to actually be taking this serious. You don't see him all over social media doing this and doing that kind of crap and talking pure shit about I'm gonna knock this person, that person out. No, he has a fight date. It's set. He's in the gym. He's in training camp. He's working on it. He's ready to fight. That's what it is. But because his brother keeps clowning Floyd Mayweather, I think Logan's gonna end up taking some punishment for it, man.
Yeah. Well, I know you got your knockout show tomorrow, Mike. I can guess which knockout's going to be on that one.
You know exactly which knockout's going to be on that one. And honestly, you might have the inside. It might be the winner. We'll see. We'll see who wins the knockout of the week. There's still another card tonight, man. There's still the Figura and Nuri.
Just one other thing, Mike. You know, on your Mike Orr at 4, we just rolled off the tongue, didn't it, Mike? Whoever come up with that. Genius, Mike. Genius piece of work. That. Can I suggest that when you're doing a review of a boxer, you pick someone called Martin Bakole?
Okay.
Bakole. We interviewed his trainer, a guy called Billy Nelson, on Thursday nights.
Yeah.
Videos dropping on the channel tomorrow. Here's a little clip. Billy Nelson was saying that he thinks Martin Bakole is one of the most avoided heavyweights in the world.
Really?
Yes. And you'll see on the interview that Martin sparred a lot of big names in terms of the heavyweight division, and he's finding it very difficult to get the fights he deserves. So just have a look at that, because I think it'll be a great one for you to do your review on Martin Bakole.
Definitely, I'll check him.
Yeah, I'll send you the name and Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, please do. I'll check him out for sure. You know, there's a couple heavyweights out there that are having trouble finding fights, man. There's a couple people are. You know, this is what I'm saying. This whole Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, it's really holding the entire heavyweight world division back from us seeing some really good fighters who are just waiting in line to start smashing people, man. The heavyweight division is making a comeback, big and strong, you know, and this whole Fury and Joshua fight is holding it up. Once we get this underway, I think, you know, the heavyweight division is going to be the most talked about.
Ray, what did you make of Ergovic versus Michael Hunter? What did you make of that all debacle where it just didn't happen? You know,
Michael Hunter pulled out, didn't he?
Yeah, Ergovic was almost at the stadium, almost wrapping up, wasn't
it? Yeah. I don't know what the reasons were behind it. I've not looked into it. All I know is that he pulled out, but it's really disappointing. It looks really bad on Michael Hunter. Was it fear? Because I'm hearing you the reason. I mean, what could be the reason for him to pull out? Michael Hunter's another one of those fighters that comes out. He's been talking a good game. I know he was doing stuff out with his dad. He wanted to capture the North American heavyweight belt out of respect for his dad, who done so. But then he was talking about stepping down to cruiserweight. After he'd done that, he said he wasn't a heavyweight. He wanted to step down to cruiserweight, but obviously he's picked on this Ergovic, who's decent. He's decent, and as he realised he's bitten off far more than he can chew. Who knows?
Probably not. Who knows? But he definitely has bitten off a lot. And
it's quite interesting because Billy Nelson was saying that I think I've got this wrong from memory, but I'm sure it's a WBC where Martin's ranked 14th. And Ergovic, when you look that down the rankings, it could well be that Ergovic fights Bakole because of availability of other boxers. Now, that would be a very interesting fight. You know, Billy suggested there was some big news coming for Martin Bakole because he's with MTK now, by the way, as well, which will help.
Is he?
That'll help his cause. But Billy Nelson couldn't speak highly enough of him. And obviously, he would have seen the guy spar and everything, wouldn't he? You know, he was very, very confident in his charge that he could mix it at the very highest level of heavyweights. So it'd be very interesting to see keep an eye on Martin Bakole.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously it's funny because he did lose against Michael Hunter.
Yeah,
he did. But
Ray covers that in the interview as well. He covers the build. Let's just say the build up to that fight. I don't want to say too much because I want people to view it.
No worries, but I mean, if you look at the wins that he's had since then, albeit there's a couple of names on there that we know, but he has looked decent. He has looked decent, and I do know personally, before as a channel where you caught up with Billy Nelson, that he was doing some good spars with one particular heavyweight, and they were reportedly good spars. So I do know he's a decent operator, and his brother,
Garbu
was he's the he fought Tony Bellew.
Yeah, Goodison.
For the Cruiserweight World Championship.
I was there.
Oh, yeah. Goodison, yeah, you were, yeah.
Yeah,
Andy.
That was.
Yeah, so, I mean, he comes from decent stock. So hopefully, I mean, if he does get that big fight, we'll see how he gets on.
Yeah. I don't mind saying it. He sparred AJ, and AJ is very, very complimentary in terms of his power. So, fingers crossed he gets that big breakout fight, or he forces his way into a mandatory position. So Mike, talk to us about Canadian boxing before we finish. Who's going to be the next breakout star from Canada?
Honestly, right now we're looking at. We think it's Jessica Camara, man. We're standing behind her,
right?
Especially after that performance over Heather Hardy. Honestly, Heather Hardy stepped up in weight to fight. She's at and near the end of her career. Coming off that loss from Amanda Serrano. Jessica Camara, she came in, the bigger of the two, really brought it to her, hit her with some nice shots, came out with a unanimous. Where does she go from here? She's already, so now she's won. She's fought somebody who's fought on world stage. She's going to go after world title, man. That's her goal. And you know what? We got to get behind her, man. Here in Canada, that's what we're doing. We're pushing for her. We believe that she's going to be, next big thing, man, from Canada. Definitely. She's honestly, she's a great fighter. If you guys, you know what? I'll try to send you guys a clip so you guys can check out the fight. It's really good, man. She's very strong. Ain't afraid to, take a punch. She gets on the inside. She works it really well. She puts her combos together great. She's an all-around great fighter. And you know what? Now she's got that win under her belt of Heather Hardy, and you know what? I think that's gonna put her in line to start making some big fights and to really get known.
I mean, the only thing I've got a complaint about is what's the alias. Come on, tell us what her alias is, Mike.
The Cobra.
No. I've got to say there's only one Cobra. And that's yeah.
Can't be Carl Fletcher's nickname, man.
Yeah, well, hey, she's a woman, so what can we say? We got to give it to her.
She's had a couple of defeats, Mike, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's got two. She got two defeats. You know what? It's the thing with fighting in Canada and stuff like that, right? Like, you end up fighting sometimes the same people because of the shallow talent pool. Yeah. And you know what? You when you fight a fighter a couple of times, you're gonna win and you're gonna lose. You might not win them all, and and now she's got good training. She's got Lou DiBella, entertainment pushing her. There's a lot of good female boxers coming out right now that Lou DiBella is representing. Another one is Scarlett Delgado's out there. I don't know if she's still competing, but then there's Sandy Tigres, there's Amanda Gali, and Jessica Camara. These are some big name women that are coming out of Canada right now. And
who would you like to see a fight in the UK? We're blessed with a lot of brilliant female fighters, aren't we?
You know what? Yeah. You know what? You guys have that really deep talent pool, man, of female fighters over there, and I'd like to see. She's got. You know what? I'd like to see her in the ring with anybody, really. Just because she's Canadian, I'd like to see her on an international stage.
What weight is she, Mike?
She is. Well, she fought at 137 pounds. So she can fluctuate in between, the we'll say 140 and 130-ish, 125-ish, so she can go up and down. She fought Heather Hardy at 137, which I couldn't believe Heather Hardy agreed to, to fight almost up 10 pounds, really, right? Like, she usually fights at 124, 126, somewhere around there. So
yeah, I mean, there's a number of kids we've got. We've got obviously Natasha Jonas, Terry Harper, Chantel Cameron, Katie Taylor might take her as like a fight before she packs it in. And we've got a couple people that are like 4-0, who are just bubbling, because that's the thing with women's boxing. You don't need that many fights before you're ready for world titles.
Exactly.
If you look at Ebony Bridges and Shannon Courtenay, those guys were having 4 or 5 fights each. I think Ebony Bridges had 5 fights, and this was a world title fight. If that was men, apart from Lomachenko, you'd be falling off your chair laughing.
Oh yeah,
but the women, because they don't have no depth.
No,
is she a good talker, Mike? Can she sell herself? Is she a good talker?
Definitely, man. She interviews all the time with a bunch of people. We've interviewed her on Talk and Fight many times. We're gonna get her back in for an interview. I'm gonna get her to do one of the Female Fridays before her next bout. Yeah, man, she can talk. She's well spoken. She knows exactly what she wants to get out of boxing, and and I believe she's got.
Let's have it right. Ebony Bridges talked her way into that fight, didn't she? She talked, and that's the way of doing it.
Yeah.
Commercial.
Yeah. And you know what? Just after, with her fighting Heather Hardy, that's gonna, it's elevating her career for sure. And, she's, she fights out of Montreal. She's, resides in birthplace Ontario. Now she's, fighting down in Houston. I believe that's where the fight was last night. And, now we're hopefully we're going to see her on international stages, right? Like, what is next?
So why is that Canadian card not being televised then, Mike?
I have no idea. I have no idea why. It's ridiculous. There was an all Canadian card last night as well that didn't get televised. I just don't know. I don't know what's going on with these people. Like, I know we're working. I know the Talk and Fight family's working on trying to give streaming to these clubs that hold all these fights, and people want to see this stuff, man. How are you supposed to know who the new up and coming fighters are if you can't see them? Right. So that's what we're trying to do. We just want to get it done. But yeah, the Canadian card, I'm kind of upset that it's not televised. It's kind of ridiculous when you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a big demand for boxing in Canada, right? I know it's not going to be the first choice sport. I'd assume that's ice hockey, but it must be up. It must put in a viewing. It must put in a viewing figure, surely.
It does. The problem is that like all Canadian talent, like there's nothing here for us really, man. There's like, it's not like a bunch of people are coming up here to fight. The Canadians are always going somewhere else. And like all the females, the talent pool in Ontario is small, so they're going out to Montreal, and they're moving to Montreal to keep fighting. That's the only way, unless they get into this international stage and start traveling, down south into the States or across the pond over to you guys. This is Canada. I don't know it's weird. It's weird that we don't have a huge talent pool, because I know there is a lot of talented Canadian fighters out there that are in these gyms training super hard, and they just don't get the recognition that they deserve, nor do they get paid the money that they deserve to be in the ring, right? So
because you've got a rich history, haven't you, in terms of Canadian boxers, in the past. Not nowhere near the UK. Don't get let's not get it twisted. Nowhere near the UK. But you have got some heritage, haven't you? So it's interesting. I just wonder why.
You know what? It's fallen off over the years, and I guess MMA is kind of taken over in Canada. There's an MMA gym on every other corner here in Canada. It's ridiculous, but At one point, there was a big boxing here. Like I boxed when I was young, man. I boxed for, from the time I was like 10 to the time I was like 16. And, boxing was big here. There was a lot of clubs. We had Florida Jacks, we had Cabbagetown, we had the Scarborough Boxing Academy, we had just like they're all over. But now they're few and far between, and everything's MMA and jiu-jitsu, and it's just gone a different way here.
Is it a case that you might need an AJ type figure to come through?
Yeah, definitely. I think we need that next world stage, undisputed, unified champ. We need one. We got to stop. We got to stop just saying, "Hey, we got this Canadian belt, the NABO." That's the most we're getting. The North American Boxing Organization's world title. Great, that's cool. When's the last time and we get international recognition? It's been a while.
I mean, you've been close with people like Buatsi, Stevenson, Lemieux.
Exactly.
So it's interesting because I think these type of fighters were getting places like Montreal and Quebec bouncing, but since these three guys, I mean, Lemieux's nowhere near. I mean, his record's not bad, but you wouldn't.
I believe on the pound for pound world rankings, I think the first time a Canadian pops up is like 75th.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's unfortunate.
Wow. So there's no shining light at the minute. You think he could come through and galvanize Canadian boxing?
I don't think we have anybody right now that can do that.
Right.
No, I don't think we have, a headline maker, a showstopper, somebody that's going to come in and just, clean house and take a whole bunch of belts from somebody. I don't think I see any of that right now.
It must be quite sad, Mike, because Australia and New Zealand are having a bit of a resurgence, aren't they, in boxing? You know, you've got Asia who have got an handful of boxers as well who can put a decent crowd. Europe have as well. America obviously have, but there is a gap there for Canada, isn't there?
Yeah, you know what? Like I said, Jean Pascal, who's 38 years old, 35-6-1, is ranked 72nd on pound for pound, and he is the first Canadian to show up on the pound for pound rankings in the world. And you know what? At 38, he's at the end of his career.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Let's he's maybe got a couple more fights in him. 35-6-1. There's 42 fights under his belt. He's getting up there. And then who's next? We don't have those superstars climbing the ranks right now.
Interesting.
It's unfortunate, but in due time.
Mike, appreciate your time tonight. Okay, make sure you have a look at them videos on the channel. Again, you've got Natasha Jonas on there now. You've got Billy Nelson dropping tomorrow. It'll be about midday UK time. And then me and you are doing the interview tomorrow, Michael, aren't we?
Yep. What time was that again? 11?
12 o'clock Canadian
My time. Right? Oh, 12 o'clock your time. Okay,
No. Listen, 12 o'clock Canadian time.
Okay, perfect. All right.
I thought I'd let you have a lie in.
Yeah.
Ray,
that'll be great. I'm excited. Can't wait. We'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to send me the name of.
I will.
Definitely drop it.
And don't forget to check Martin Bicoli out.
That's it.
Yeah. I'll send you the name. Mate.
All right. Awesome. All right,
Cheers,
guys. Thanks a lot. See you later. Have a good night.
Okay, guys, that's a wrap from Last Bell Boxing tonight. Like I mentioned to Mike over in Canada, we have Gareth Morris video on the channel, who's ex-British Boxing Board of Control, who took charge of the first KSI Logan Paul fight. I know you've watched that video, Ray. Worth a watch, you'd say?
Yeah, of course. It's really insightful. It really opens up. I would say the closet on the British Board of Boxing Control he really goes to town on there, so it's well worth a watch.
Yeah, I think you'll learn fight fans will learn a lot about that side of the game and what happens, because I learned a lot from it. And then obviously the Natasha Jonas interview. I don't know if you've seen that yet, Ren.
No, I haven't seen it. No.
So again, just to cover a couple of topics, she covers Terry Harper's fight. She covers the lead up to that fight. She covers Joe Gallagher. And we also talk for a little bit too long, if I'm honest, Liam Smith. So that's well worth a watch as well. So that's on the channel now. And tomorrow, like I said, about midday UK time, there'll be a Scottish trainer Billy Nelson interview. Billy talks about Martin Piccoli a lot. He's not shy in coming forward about his views of the heavyweight division. So again, you'll learn a lot from that interview, some things that you're probably not aware of. Very insightful. So guys, jump on, have a look. That's what it's here for. We'll bring it to an end there, Ray. Thank you for your time tonight. Okay,
Thank you for having us.
And then we're back on again live Thursday night at 9 p.m. as normal.
Yeah.
See you all then.